Hi friends and welcome to my tutorial. This is a short video on object-oriented programming, and by doing so I have also made a short program which calculates the duration between two dates. So let's get started. Um, Before seeing the code, let us have a short discussion on class and objects. Well, class, as you know, is a data type. Objects have the type class. Objects are instances of a class having the same attributes as that of the class. So to make things a bit easier to understand, I have drawn a short analogy. You see many sheets of paper on the right side of the screen. The one over here, we can look upon it as the class, and these four can be looked upon as objects. Objects are nothing but photocopy of the class. They have the same attributes as that of the class. So which striking feature do we see over here? I guess it's reusability. We have a class and we make objects of the class and we can reuse all the attributes of the class over and over again. Okay, so if I have a problem of this sort, if I have to make a database of students or employees for that matter, which have to have a lot of details, a lot of variables, I can easily do that using multidimensional list. But if I use class and objects, things will be much easier. I'll just declare the variables once inside the class and I'll make objects of that class for each individual student or employee. And that makes calculation really easy because you don't have to declare the variables over and over again. Okay, so let's move on. The primary concern in this video is that how can we use this property in our program, in the date program. So I know I haven't shown you the code yet, but still, let's take a look at the scheme of the program. I will have three objects, three attributes of my class. The class is date. The first object, cDate, and the second object, fDate, will store the two dates. And the third one, calc, will store the end result. That is the number of days and month, which denotes the duration between the two dates. So um, let's see how can we find the duration between two days. If, for example, I take 3rd July and 15th September, I have to do something of this sort. I have to subtract the date of the starting month from the total number of days in the starting month. So I'll do 31 minus 3 equal to 28. Next, I'll add the days of all the months in between, if any. In this case, yes, I do have a month in between. I have August in between. So I'll add 31 days of August to it. Lastly, I'll add the number of days in the last month. That's from 1 to 15. So I'll add 15 days of September and that takes the tally to 74. Um, Lastly, I want to show you that how can you actually compute the number of months and days from a huge chunk of days. So here we are. I'll run a loop, um, and if my loop crosses the end of the month, that is say 31 or 30 in this case, or you can also have 28 in the case of February. If my loop crosses the end of month, I'll increment the number of months by 1 and I'll again reset the number of days to 0 because it means that the days have again come at the starting of the month and the month number has been increased. So now let's have a look at our program. Here we are. As you can see, I have a class date defined, and inside that I have a parameterized constructor underbar init underbar which takes three parameters: self, day, and month. Self is nothing but a object which points to the current object. Now day and month are two parameters. Day stores the number of day and month will store the number of months. And self.day means the current object's day will be assigned, the this day parameter will be assigned to the current object's day, and the month will be assigned to the current object's month. Next, I have a function called underbar str underbar, which takes a parameter self. It's not quite significant, it just returns a string which I'll be printing on later. Now let me show you what are cdate and fdate. Well, cdate and fdate and calc are objects of my class date. While creating the object cdate and fdate, I'll pass 5, 6 and 15, 9 respectively the parameterized constructor to define the objects accordingly. And while making the object calc, I have passed 0, 0 because I don't know what will be the value of days and month in my calc. I have to calculate it. That's why I have kept it at 0. So now let's see these two functions, date to days and days to date, which make the backbone of my program. Okay, so in the first function I have a list which stores all the number of days in all the months, the 12 months. Now if cdate.month equal to fdate.month, I mean if the two dates have the same month, then the calculation becomes quite simple. I just have to subtract the number of days to get the duration. Say for example, if it's 5th September and 15th September, so I'll do 15 minus 5 equal to 10. But um, what if the number of months is different? Like in this example, we had 5 June and 15 September. So June and September are different. So we come to the else part. Else days, which means the number of days, is equal to the any of these values, and which one we'll choose depends on the cdate.month, the month number. See for example, we can have 31, 30 or 28 in this portion over here, minus cdate.day. Now this whole line is nothing but what I have already explained to you in this portion. Total days in starting month minus the date. So that is what we are doing over here. I equal to cdate.month plus 1. I'll increment, I is nothing but the counter for the while loop. And okay, I'm running a while loop. So let me tell you the difference between while and for loop. There's nothing quite very different. It's just that in the case of for loop, we had the initialization, the checking condition, and the incremental portion in the body of the loop. In this case, in the case of while loop, I initialize the loop counter beforehand. I increment the loop counter inside the body of the loop, and the checking portion remains in the body of the loop in this statement. So I'll run a loop from I equal to this month number plus 1, because I don't want the initial month, I want the next month. If I had June, June, I wanted August. I'm sorry, if I had July, I wanted August. I want to take all these days. So I'm incrementing the number of months by 1. I loop from I equal to this value till less than equal to till less than f date dot month. Now this is in this example we f date was September, so less than f date would mean August. Days equal to days plus m of I. I just keep on adding the days based on this list of days. I increment the loop counter by 1. Before returning the number of days, I also add the number of days in the last month. Like in this example, we have added the 15 days over here. That's what I'm doing over here. The next function, days to date. In this function, I will take the total number of days as the parameter, and I'll calculate the number of months and the number of days. So I have again a list of the same sort, uh, but I don't have a zero in the starting because here the calculation is a bit different. A equal to c date dot month. Well, A will be used in the loop. I equal to 1, it's a loop counter. So while I less than equal to D, well, I is less than equal to the number of days, I increment I. I also increment the number of days. Now this is what I've already explained to you. If the number of days surpass the maximum number of days in that particular month, like if they cross 31 or 30 or 28 for that matter, I'll do cal.month equal to cal.month plus 1. I mean, I'll increment the number of months and I'll again reset the number of days to 1 because I've again come at the starting of the month. So the last function, which is the most important, def find. I'm taking two objects as arguments in this function, dat and dat1. These are nothing but I'm calling the function find over here, date.find cdate.f comma fdate. Well, this needs a bit of explanation. Whenever I have to call the function of a class, I have to write the class name dot the function name. That's why I've written date dot find and then the parameters. So I pass cdate and fdate to find. S and S1 has the strings generated from the function underscore underscore str underscore underscore a equal to the total number of days which I am finding using this function date to days. Now I'm passing the value a as parameters in the function days to date. Again I'm using the same format, class name dot function name. So I pass the total number of days to this function which we have already discussed earlier. Now I print the starting date is S, the ending date is S1, um, and what you see over here is just cosmetics. I mean, just to improve the look of the program, I have written this if and else. The main thing is that I'm printing the number of days, I'm printing the dates, I'm also printing the duration in terms of months and days. If the months are equal to 0, I just print the days. If the days are equal to 0, I print the months. And if both are equal to, if both are not equal to 0, I print both of them, like you see in this example, 3 months and 10 days. So that's the end of a program. But what's very important over here is that like this is fine. From 74 days, we have taken output like 2 months and 13 days. That's quite simple. But what do we take back home from this study? I think that what's more important is that from this program, we see that coding becomes a whole lot easier using classes. I mean OOP obviously. We write the code once and it can be used by the attributes of the class, which are nothing but objects, over and over and over again. Also, the variables once declared in a class are also owned by the objects, so we do not have to declare many variables, thus saving memory. Um, I think I'm able to explain you uh, the concepts of object-oriented programming and how it is beneficial. So, well, this is the end of our video tutorial and happy object-oriented programming from my side. Thank you, friends.